In March of 2020, it was officially announced that E3, pinnacle of games industry showcases and occasional laughingstock, would not be happening. Yet another casualty of the necessary cultural shift towards not cramming a bunch of people into tight spaces during a pandemic. I was disappointed, but not devastated. After all, E3 isn't a content creator as much as it is a collective stage. As long as the technical side of things works, the success of any given E3 in its 25-ish years of existence is more than anything a sum of its parts. The people responsible for the content of these presentations would still have something to tell us even without their usual platform. So as I bemoaned the loss of E3's comfortable pattern of curiosity, excitement, and more than occasional cringe, I held on to hope that this sudden void might lead to a creative spark. When the Devolverland Digital Expo went live 3 months later, I saw that spark. The Expo is a free-to-download game, a self-professed marketing simulator set within an abandoned convention center after the mysterious cancellation of the fictional Devolver Digital Game Expo. It continued in a trend by notoriously demented publisher Devolver Digital of winking really hard at their audience whilst rampaging through the paces of the familiar format of industry showcases, and more than ever, I was there for it. And don't get me wrong, this is a straight-up game, not a walking simulator. There's sprinting and jumping and sliding and a t-shirt gun that you can use to temporarily disable the robot watchmen that patrol the Expo Center's grounds. There is also an announcer voice that grows progressively more antagonistic and pointed with his announcements the further into the experience the player gets. The gameplay progresses at a decent pace while still pulling back in the moments where the real games are being showcased. The presentations for these games are excellent. Some of them are the type of setup you would expect of the con setting, with some minor additions befitting the games being showcased. Little things like ambient fog being pixelated to match a game's art style are a subtle but effective use of the medium. But as the Expo continues to play out, things escalate, and by the time you get to the last few games, you're walking through spaces with elements that could not possibly exist under the constraints of the average convention. And once you make your way through all of the exhibits, you unlock a gravity glove and there's a straightforward but undeniably fun boss battle against a physical embodiment of the convention announcer voice. There's even some replay value in the form of various collectibles that, if found, unlock teaser information about a few of Devolver's unannounced upcoming games. The Expo had some real bangers on display. Fall Guys in particular, which would launch the following month and, for better or worse, take the internet by storm, has a striking display featuring a full-on Fall Guys dance party, and unlike the other exhibits, player interaction with game-related assets has a discernible impact. I played through and thoroughly enjoyed the experience, but more than that, I looked forward to what may come from other publishers in a similar vein, and then I promptly forgot about it because 2020, until the end of March 2021, just about a year on from E3's cancellation, when I installed IWOCon, a digital showcase of a jaw-dropping number of indie games of varying styles served up in the form of a swashbuckling pirate adventure. I don't know why that's the theme they went with, but they did, and they stuck with it, and that's admirable. IWOCon was organized and built by a skeleton crew coordinating media across just so many unique indie games, and gave space and attention to some games that would probably never get promotion of such an epic scale in the real world. Naturally, there are some rough edges and features that are cool in theory, but only fine as implemented, but there are other ideas, like scattered collectible hats or this dockside town that is itself a games booth, where you can switch to playing as an extremely muscular Viking, that make up for it. The downloadable game was released alongside a packed slate of relevant and interesting live-streamed presentations relating to game creation and development. As I wandered through the various themed islands in my swashbuckling alter ego, my year-old excitement from the Devolverland Expo bubbled back up, immediately followed by frustration. 2020 was a year of momentous shifts in the way people communicate about and consume media. It was a year where the video game industry made a whole lot more money than the video game industry has in any previous year. What I wanted was for big publishers to use their resources to tell us what's in store through an art form that they love to trumpet to us, the consumers, that they do the best. What I got was a bunch of Nintendo Directs. I'm not even going to ask why. I know why. You know why. Everyone knows why. The format is a clean, straightforward, and probably cost-effective way of conveying the same information as a live showcase, with the added benefit of nobody pretending to play Just Dance. I do get it. The people making decisions at the highest level are motivated by their shareholders for profit. It's why they were put there. But I was still disappointed, because I've played 2 digital expos now, and I've felt them evoke something that plain videos don't. The feeling of seeing something cool in the distance and making your way over towards it of your own accord. These games make it feel cool to explore what is essentially a giant ad. Even speaking cynically, is that kind of engagement not what big publishers want? So let me shift into corporate mode real quick. Hello, the industry. Thank you for coming on such short notice. Now, you could do the safe and low-effort announcement video for your upcoming video game properties, but why not take the funding that would have gone towards lighting and makeup for a hungover celebrity and put that money towards creating a digital expression of the brand? Think of the goodwill, the optics. Nintendo, how about Mario Party's mini-games within the framework of a convention? A Mario 64 castle where the paintings are presentations. Or Microsoft, a game where you and Cortana bust into a massive facility shaped like an Xbox to retrieve screenshots and bonus codes relating to upcoming games. Or Sony, a visual novel about Joel and Ellie from The Last of Us hanging out at a fun Sony game convention and just not being sad. I want them to be happy, please. Hell, you could just build a generalized digital convention center framework with adjustable elements and puzzles that you can update and tweak on a yearly basis to extend the value of invested resources. And that way, once the team is finished, you can lay them off. Questions from the crowd?
Could you add loot boxes?
What's that?
Could you add loot boxes?
No, you shouldn't add loot boxes. Sit down. Hey, allow me. Why are you kicking me out?
Corporate restructuring.
What do you mean, corporate restructuring? A part of me wonders if these major publishers even considered this as an option. And if they did, who knows how seriously they took the idea. The Nintendo Direct format is what we get when numbers on a page decide your output. It's safe, clean, and forgettable. There is a cynical part of me that feels weird asking for something that is so fully and transparently a promotional tool, but in-person events usually are too, and even if conventions had attractions of the magnitude and scale possible in the digital showcase, the line would be like 6 hours long, and somehow no matter what, I just know I would end up wedged between two guys who care a lot more about video games than they do about taking showers. This isn't a call to never bring back in-person expos, though it is a loving reminder to please bathe before and after you go to one. I would love to see a future where some of the bloat on these major conventions is trimmed and the funds perhaps partially reallocated to creating polished, unique digital showcases that do the medium they're highlighting justice and allow more people to enthusiastically engage with a convention vibe, even if they can't physically walk the floor. With E3 officially making a digital comeback for 2021, it will be interesting to see how the format continues to develop in the coming years. I don't think E3 2021 is going to do anything particularly daring. I'd imagine this is a year for clear schedules and a straightforward, hopefully stable production. But now that I've seen what a digital expo can be, a part of me is hoping for more. So that's the first video on Standard Gaming with 1,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much for coming through. If you're watching this, it means you're probably here looking for the next Barotrauma video, which is a work in progress. It will be out when it is ready, but hopefully soon. If you like this video, please let us know by leaving a like and a comment and subscribing and all of that other stuff. But until next time, I'm Jamie. Thanks for watching Standard Gaming.